JJK slaps hard.
Bando kid. Bando kid.
I'm probably not going to start off this video saying anything you don't already know about the recent chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen. I mean, what more is there to say? Yuji finally gets a domain expansion. Sukuna is still, well, Sukuna. Megumi still wants to die. Gojo is still dead. And his memory is finally done being dishonored by Yuta.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Toto and extras are out of the fight, and we're still never ever fucking ever gonna see how Hikari and Arame's fight ends. But hey, the manga's in a pretty good spot right now. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about all that specifically, and I'm not even here to judge the story. I'm actually here to talk about Yuji and why he's actually the reason why the story is so good right now. I want to give enlightenment on not only the character, things like why he's the main character, why he's literally the Jujutsu sorcerer. It's literally his Jujutsu. Guys, before anything, we kind of have to take a look back and not necessarily who Yuji is as a person, but what he is as a person. And it's honestly funny, I do get to do this now, because motherfuckers are, like, be talking about, oh, Gojo's the MC, bro, Gojo's the MC. This is literally why he's not and why Yuji is. I'm literally gonna break down right here from explaining Itadori's birth to his ongoing process of development, his upbringings, quote unquote, and growth throughout life up until this very point. So back in chapter 257, with the yap session between Sukuna and Raume, we find out that Kenjaku in the body of a woman had a child with Yuji's father, Jin Itadori, whose body housed the reincarnated soul of Sukuna's twin at the time. Now look into Gojo's birth for comparison. Lots of people say, oh, Gojo is, or might as well be the MC, because his existence and actions have more effect on the plot. Well, if you look at it that way, this logic is honestly, like, kind of ignorant. Gojo isn't the main character because he's born into the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. He's just like what Yuji said. He's just a cog. This logic is perfect here for this situation, but not for Yuji, for Gojo instead. You know from what Tengen said, like, way back when, that in the world and lore of JJK, it's literally fate that a Six Eyes user is born into the world every now and then. So it's not that the character himself is important to, like, the overall arching story, it's the role of the Six Eyes itself. That's what's important. That isn't to say that makes Gojo less of an important character himself, but what does make him important is his selfish actions, because that's something Gojo is deciding to do himself. Like his dream of building up strong students for the future, when he killed the higher ups, or even when he saved Yuji in the first episode. I want to bring up the fact that Tengen said the one and only thing that was free to mess up the fate that we're discussing here was Toji himself. So Gojo surviving Toji is also another, like, evidence, I guess, to why, or like how special Satoru is. Because, like, even if you think about it deeply, like, he didn't use the Six Eyes or even the Limitless itself to, like, save himself against Toji. Like, yeah, he used the Limitless to kill Toji. Like, he used Hollow Purple to kill Toji. When he was attacked by Toji, he didn't use the Limitless to save himself. He used reverse curse technique. And that might be a technical or, like, copious way of thinking about things, but, like, I'm not wrong. The best way that I like to put it is, if you like Naruto, right? You don't just like Naruto because he's the reincarnation of Ashura and because he has the Nine Tails. These are two things he is basically fated to be and or have. But we don't just like him because of these things. We like him because he's the character that he is, the decisions that he makes. What I'm saying is, if you feel this way about Naruto, then you shouldn't like Gojo any less. But you should at least take into consideration that his existence is without a doubt something that is fated to happen in the world of JJK. Yuji, on the other hand, is special because, unlike Gojo, it isn't necessarily fate or something that's destined for Yuji to be born. Hell, it isn't even really guaranteed. Kenjaku literally just did it. To this point in time in the story, we still don't really have a clear reason as to why Yuji was made. Kenjaku goes on to say that Yuji doesn't even matter to him anymore, and his role in all of this literally is over. He only needed to make Yuji as a vessel, and after that, he saw no purpose in him anymore. That's what makes Yuji special, because even in the face of someone like Kenjaku, the mastermind that created him, or to someone like Sukuna, the proclaimed strongest sorcerer in history, Yuji is deemed nothing but utter trash, worthless, and just flat out boring. Yet to us, the viewer, you see him climb up and tower over obstacle after obstacle in his own very way, showing how he is special. These two biggest antagonists of the series just literally fail to realize or can't see that he is. By all means, Yuji's birth and existence should more than be and is a curse. In many ways already than one, this not only makes Yuji a better written character, but it makes him just flat out a more interesting character than Gojo. I don't want to take anything away from Gojo. Like, there's still interesting characteristics in him being born, like the loneliness that comes with him being the strongest, and the fact that he's literally born as Gojo. And loneliness is an aspect and topic that seems to be being brought to the front of the story, or so it has been within the last few chapters, so I'm pretty sure it's important here. But back to Yuji though, I truly believe this is also what makes him the main character of the story, because JJK is taking every single aspect of the character and laying it out so beautifully in the midst of the battle. I mean, first of all, he's literally fighting against Sukuna, the, again, strongest sorcerer of history. And secondly, Yuji has awakened, just like what we saw with Gojo against Toji. This is literally when a sorcerer reaches their peak, on top of the fact that it came after he hit a Black Flash, which we literally were introduced to in the series by Todo and Yuji themselves. A Black Flash being something described by Nanami as something that literally pushes a sorcerer into the zone, and JJK himself has spent hours racking his brain around the fact that it's a multiplier to your attack. And Todo says the difference between sorcerers who have landed a Black Flash and those who haven't is like touching heaven. On top of Yuji being awakened, he hits multiple of these throughout his fight with Sukuna, all the while taking slashes and attacks from him, but persevering nonetheless. This is what I mean by taking every single aspect, and it's not just the abilities he's learned, but it's also the skills and characteristics through fighting with others, the things he's learned by being built up and building others up around him. You can take any moment of the Sukuna raid boss here, for example. He's fought with Higuruma, Yuta, Maki, and the Icy Sorcerer, fucking Choso. Literally take anything. He's even fighting with Todo right now. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, regardless of how many people have jumped into the fight after Gojo and Kashimo's 1v1s, Yuji has still been the only person to stay with Sukuna throughout this whole battle consistently, not faltering or wavering a single time. Even when we do see Yuji down on the ground, we see that same example shown in himself and with his allies. This isn't just a small detail either, because literally almost every fight Yuji has been in, he's taken it on with at least one more person. JJK not only shows that he's the MC, but he also shows Yuji's growth as a sorcerer in the battle via him literally using the abilities he's learned over time. It's also his mindset, the things he's learned analytically as a sorcerer, like stated earlier, and just to really drive home that key fact that he's the MC and Gojo's not. Gojo unfortunately died to Sukuna, and Yuji is still battling him with the information that Gojo taught him. Literally, the dude literally trains under Gojo and learns multiple things from him. He's put into events, does private lessons, and even sees action firsthand from Gojo. Next, there's the whole analytical thing. Sorcerers are hungry, and they have to push for their victory and or the goal that is in sight, no matter the cost, even if it costs them their life. This is not only seen on multiple occasions, but it's also told to us from Gojo himself in a metaphorical sense, which we already know Yuji does. He shows us this most prominently in season 1, when he chooses to swap places with Sukuna, even when he realizes he'll die by doing that. Or in season 2 in Shibuya with his fight against Choso in the bathroom. It's Yuji choosing to bet on himself rather than to bet on the situation that's already not within his favor, and that ultimately ended up being the better decision. And this same Yuji who just sacrificed himself was the same Yuji who was just tweaking out about death not even an hour ago. So yeah, that just shows us how crazy Bro's determination is. We see Yuji's determination, willpower, strength, and mastery as a sorcerer in other fights as well. But this is a good one because it gives us everything I've listed and just so much more. Throughout the short amount of time that Yuji has been a sorcerer, he's learned the ins and outs, and that's not just through combat. He's learned and witnessed firsthand what it's like to die, to be on the losing side of a fight, to be on the winning side of a fight, to have an ally die right in front of him, to bet it all on one thing, to keep moving forward no matter what. They're taking everything he's ever used or learned throughout his life as a sorcerer and they're putting it into this fight. And that and every other reason that I've stated thus far in this video is why I not only think it portrays him beautifully as a main character, but I also think it portrays him perfectly as a Jujutsu sorcerer.
Yeah, I told Berettas, I'm in Alpharetta, red marinara, cheese mozzarella, bloodshed vendetta, stepping on whatever, red bandana, run around with that blam. I believe soulless, he not lit, he pose,
this world and get sent to the sky. Big dog shit, conquer divine. All this pain, I can't cry. Don't trust niggas, sorry for killing the vibe.